Ice Beer Project Double Down. We are going to double down on Old Milwaukee Ice. Premium ice beer. 5.9% alcohol. Introduced in 1994. This is one of the hidden Pabst brands. And what I mean by that is, I was just looking, and I knew this was the case. I was looking on the Old Milwaukee website. They list Old Milwaukee from 1955. Old Milwaukee Light from 1982. Old Milwaukee NA from some point in history. But not Old Milwaukee Ice from 1994. So this beer comes in a full metal jacket. Hi, Joker. It's not sold on draft. It's not sold in bottles that I know of, to my knowledge. Now, Pabst is a weird company. You don't usually see Old Milwaukee in bottles, but they exist. I bought one. I'm looking at it. Bought this right off of Interstate 70 in Ohio last week. 99 cents for the can. They had all kind of Genesee beers in there and other things that we can't get. Dundee Brown, Honey Brown Lager. And we're looking at Prairie Belt smoked sausages. Friar Tuck said, "You ever seen these?" I said, "Yes, I have." I've had a number of people actually ask me about Prairie Belt because I did the Vienna sausage close examination. And they were saying, "What do you know about Prairie Belt?" I said, "I don't know a lot." But like somebody was saying, apparently these are made to be eaten stacked on a plate. And there's a kid with his 1961 shirt and hairstyle. Looks like they haven't changed the label since then. They come in big cans, small cans. There's a red with gold trim. That's the hot. This is the gold with red, the standard. No website. This is a hidden brand. And let me tell you what I mean about that. Okay, it's like the Brian Taste of the South Vienna sausages. You can get on the Brian website. It's part of Hillshire Farms. And they'll talk about all kind. Nothing about the Vienna sausage. Curiously, it says San Diego. This, curiously, says Prairie Belt, San Diego. And Friar Tuck was like, "Check the P.O. box and the zip code." Yeah, I'm going to make a double check when I go to the grocery store tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure they're the same. Prairie Belt? Nah, more like Sweet Sue. Part of Bumblebee brands. You know, the people that make all the Bumblebee canned fish and shrimp items and oysters. Product of China type thing. So it's always the same thing. A brand that's owned by a brand that's owned by a company, but it's actually part of some bigger company. But get on the Sweet Sue website and the Bumblebee, you'll never see this. You won't see this. You won't see this. What does it say? Yeah, the Strawberry. Haha, not exactly. It's Pabst. Brewery, Pabst. Brand holder, recipe holder, product developer. Brewed for the time being. We have a lawsuit in place. Oh, it's got the date, guys. August 1st, 2016. 08. What brewery is 08? Well, it's one of the breweries. Could be the Ohio brewery. I think there's one in Ohio. Trenton, Ohio. Pabst is currently suing Miller, SAB Miller, because they said that they're not providing enough brew capacity for their beers, and they're being caught short. Like they can't get enough of their product out. And Miller said no. And they said they're suing them for breach of contract. They had some contract to do their contract, you know, their brewing. So I don't know what's behind all that. I mean, I know what's behind it. It's a fight over brewing, but I don't know if there's some kind of other thing behind it. Now, somebody was like, these are special Vienna sausages because they're darker. They are darker. You can see they're darker. And it claims that it's smoked sausage. Could be. That's what it says. Do you think a big food corporation would lie to you? Now, some people get done out by me doing these double downs. And they'll say, look what he's reviewing. He's got some odd fixation or affinity for macro beers and ice beers and malt liquors. These packaged sausages, it's no special affinity or fixation. I don't even really eat these things more than like usually once every 5 to 10 years. I only get fixated on the fact that other people are fixated on it. You know what I mean? It's like other people worry about it, so then it's like, okay, well, I'll just like like extend it into other levels of ridiculousness. Look at that lacing. So, yeah, I mean, something like this. You might see 12 packs, you might see tall cans, pint cans, 6 packs of that. You're not going to see bottles, I'm pretty sure. Although they may exist for some copyright reason or something. Every Pabst brand they make might be in bottles a few times a year. I don't know. Look at the lacing. It's pretty good. It's that typical Miller lacing. And I'm sure the Miller process is not too different from Pabst. That's why they combine their operations for convenience. It's a good ice. It has that good backwash taste. You know, these ice beers, some of them don't. People were commenting on my Genesee Double Down. They were saying, Genesee, it's kind of inferior. I said, I agree with that. On that. The Pabst Ice is right there with Natural, Milwaukee's Best Ice, Keystone Ice. They're all kind of comparable. Inexpensive in a relative sense, because beer in general is high these days. You know, easy drinking, light-bodied. You know the routine. You know what ice beer is like. That's pretty much who watches these videos. I don't know how many people are like. And I've had people tell me I am an admitted beer snob. And I, like, put down in these kind of things. I was talking to a guy yesterday that's that way. I said, well, you have a right to be like that. Like Leandro, he was a friend of mine on Facebook, Leandro Serrano. He's always saying, you drank that trash. And he gives me a hard time about it. And he said, I'm an admitted beer snob. And I like to make the macro people angry, because, you know, they'll be uptight too. I said, well, I don't mind that. I mean, he's pleasant. So, but here's some old Defunct. Pabst Ice is no longer made. Schlitz Ice no longer made. National Bohemian Ice, Bo Ice, may still be in production now. Maybe. You can't ever get a great answer from this company, Pabst, the elusive Pabst Brewing Company. I would like to get the hot. Okay, it's a smoked sausage. It is darker. Tastes curiously identical to Vienna sausages, however. More expensive. It says paprika extractives, smoke flavoring. Okay. Chicken broth. And I don't think the other ones are in chicken broth. So it's, now that I'm eating on it and thinking on it, maybe it's slightly different, but not remarkably different and not worth the price difference, I don't think. I'm not going to go through a year-long session of eating these types of things to get a handle on it. It may be a tick better than what you normally get. Pork spleens, good to know. Pork skin, chicken skin, all good stuff. Mustard, some spices, natural flavors, pork stomachs. What is that? A drip, like in Remember the movie? While they're back home smoking their denobulas and drinking anisetta and eating a dreep, you know, fried pig guts. The most interesting thing, it's nothing that says artificial flavors or colors. Okay. Smoke flavoring. We see a lot of that in the grocery stores. Colgin and other brands, people love to cook with that stuff. Smoke flavoring. Well, it is what it is, and what it is not, like I've said before, erudite or elevated. So, you know, noticeable little hot bite. Now that's an interesting thing. Well, it's all around pleasant, but you do have to look at these things in context. And I do these videos in a certain context. And some people, it goes over their head, or they don't want to see the context on purpose. If you're taking all of this too seriously, it's not going to work out for you. If you're uptight, you know, this is not for you. But if you can look at that, if you can look at these for what they are, it's fine. You know, I do little affectations, which you know about that. You feel me and all that. I mean, anybody should be able to see that's obviously just, it's meant to be a joke. I mean, looking at it's not a joke. I like to look at it. It's fun and all, but some of this stuff is that. Well, I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad I got it. I already have a can for my collection. If you ever see this, and chances are you won't, unless you live in Ohio, because the last 2 times I bought this was in Ohio. Founded as a state in 1803. That's where I bought it. So, thank you for watching this video production. Prairie Belt from the Great Plains. Now, when you think of the prairies, Dorothy lived in the midst of the Great Kansas Prairie, or in San Diego. You know, at least this headquarters is theoretically in Milwaukee. I mean, it is brewed perhaps in Milwaukee. Anyway, well, enough of this. All of this talking about everything.